Hello, everyone. This is Chala Dinkoy, CEO and founder of The Repositioning Expert. Welcome to another Tuesday Tea Time with Chala. Today, I am in Montreal with my parents. I'm visiting. It's a rainy fall day. It's cold, but our hearts are warm. We're here together, reminiscing, eating like crazy, shopping, Italian clothes. It's fun. It's really fun. So today, and I've been working part-time, going on, the subway, going shopping, but I have been working and part-time. So I have had some conversations about marketing and niching and figuring out your niche. So today's topic is called 3 Wrong Ways to Pick Your Niche. Because yesterday I was talking to a prospect about what he was actually doing. He was already engaged with another marketing agency to try to determine his niche. And I was trying to ask him to help him about, what are some of the ways that they're doing it. And in the 9 years that I've done this type of consulting, and 18 years prior to that, when I actually did niching work for pizza, Pizza Hut, Frito-Lay, Pepsi Cola, all of those companies. In the 9 years since I've done it myself, I've never really seen anybody who does it the same way, because I learned it from when we used to launch these new products every year, 7 to 10 new products each and every year. So I was curious about what process they were following and whether it was sound, because I've never really seen, and I've hired marketing experts for myself, and the way that they determined the niche was not helpful and it was not the right way. And so that's why I wanted to share with you, after having that conversation, some of the mistakes that I could see that were being made, so that if you're working with either on your own or you've actually hired someone to help you figure out your niche, that you're not falling into these mistakes. So let me take a sip of my tea. Peppermint as usual. Okay. So let me just first explain what I consider a niche. A niche could be 2 ways. And what I call a super niche is the marriage of those 2 ways. The niche is one, if you pick an industry or an interest group to target. So you could have a target niche, and then you could have a niche of what you do. So whatever product or service that you're offering. What I call a super niche, which is what people hire me to figure out for them, is to become an expert in just one very specific problem, to own that problem, to have that one facet of the diamond that you own as the solution expert to that problem. So that's what you niche yourself in. And then all your messaging and your marketing plan is then put around, created around that super niche. So all the, whatever your website says, whatever your emails say, whatever your voicemail scripts are, all of your messaging, everything that you do then has to be surrounded around that super niche. So the 3 wrong ways that, when we were talking with this prospect about what his company was doing, or the company that he engaged was doing well, first is, most often people are guessing it. So whether that's the company that you've hired or the consultant is guessing it based on their background, their skill set, their experience, or they're making you guess it based on looking at what you've done in the past, what you know, what you like. Or people just sometimes just get an idea from a competitor and think that, oh, this is a really good area to niche in, this is a good way to position, this is a good way to message, and they're just guessing at it. And that's what I really call throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. And in all the trainings that I give, it's the one that I highlight as the most expensive mistake to make, because you can't really guess at your strategy. You have to have data. I mean, if I had to try to guess at Pepsi, Pizza Hut, Frito-Lay, all their strategies and all the new product strategies, I would have been fired. So how come it's okay for small businesses to do it themselves? Most often they never get off the ground. Most often they're not making over 6 figures. And most often they haven't vetted strategically where they're supposed to target and how they're supposed to niche themselves. So Number one mistake is that I see being made a lot. And it's even a worse offense if it's being made by someone that you've hired because they just don't know any better, is guessing it. So number two mistake for the wrong way of picking your niche is to Google it. And this is a mistake that my consultant that I hired to figure out my niche did. She sat down and she Googled it. And she found some numbers that suggested that there was a very healthy niche. And it was in Toronto. It was the food industry. And she saw that the government, was foretelling a huge growth in the food sector in Toronto. And that was really, really ripe for me to target. And it turned out after doing after putting together a lot of plans and so much work to try to get these people into my programs and into, roundtables, into all sorts of events that I tried to do. And then actually literally getting myself into the rooms to have sales conversations with them. I understood that most of them are subsidiaries in Canada of larger US companies. They have no budget, no authority for someone of my, caliber or for whatever that I offer. So it was literally an entire strategy and a niche that was based on Googling, and it was wrong. And I've seen it be wrong for many businesses that I've met. So that is not the way. Googling is not the way to determine your niche. Google can tell you certain things, but I'm going to tell you at the end of the three mistakes, how you really should be doing your niching. So mistake number two is Googling it. The third wrong way to pick your niche is, and this is actually a sneaky one, because it seems, and this is the one that the prospect that I was speaking to, the company that they're working with, is doing, and that he's been doing himself. It's interviewing current clients. Okay. So why am I against interviewing current clients to determine your niche going forward? Is because the current clients have been attracted to you with your existing strategy, messaging, and marketing plan, right? And if you were happy with what you were getting, you wouldn't even have a new strategy. You wouldn't even be looking for a new strategy, or have even hired someone to help you with a new strategy. So that's mistake number one in that, interviewing current clients. The second is that the current clients already know you, like you, trust you. And so they know intimately exactly what problem you solve. But if that's not apparent by your outward messaging, by your marketing, if you're not using the keywords to the exact industry that you're targeting, you can't find that out from talking to people who already have worked with you, because as a data sample, they're tainted. So that's what I'd like to offer, are these three mistakes. And so obviously that's why you shouldn't be talking to, and if I'm okay with you talking to current clients, if you're going to cross-sell them a completely new niche. And we've done that with clients in the past. And also I'm okay with you talking to them if you want to look at retention programs, like if you're trying to retain old clients and come up with some loyalty programs, that's fine. But we're talking about the only reason why people hire me to begin with is to get them new business. And if we're trying to get new business, I really don't want you to talk to old clients. Okay. So how is the right way to determine your niche is, one, talk to new prospects. So people who don't have an experience of working with you. I'm not saying that it should be cold contacts. They have to be warmed up, but it should be someone who would actually pay you and that through some way, but that is in need for your services. The other way that you figure out what your niche is, of course, is to do a systematic and strategic way of first vetting. And the way that what we use is a sort of back of the envelope gut check of a scorecard that scores the people like how intimately close are you to that group that you want to target? Do they gather in large numbers frequently? Do you have a lot of experience with that group? And do you have a good, cultural fit with that group? And also, can they pay you? So these are some of the ways that we blue sky every single niche that you can target. And then we score them, and numbers don't lie. And then once we do that fact check or that gut check, then we do the fact check, which is then we go on and we talk to them. We literally talk to our contacts in the market. And by we, I mean the clients, because their contacts are not my contacts. And they go out and they ask questions such as, is this your biggest pain? And would you hire someone like me for that? And how much would you pay? Would you pay this much for that? And what does the decision tree look like? What needs to happen for this to be hired at your company right now? Have you done similar work with companies such as ours? And then, of course, the big question is, can we come in and show you a few questions or a few solutions with no strings attached? And that usually turns into a sale. So that's the process that my company teaches and that my clients are using to great success. If you're interested in what people have been experiencing using that, just go to my YouTube channel and go to some testimonials, because I've had some actually Tuesday Tea Time clients or guests who have been clients who've used this process to find their niche and who are closing sales within the 2 to 4 months that it takes to do that. So I hope you avoid the 3 wrong ways to pick your niche, and you never have to throw money out like I did, and never waste time like a lot of people do, and find your niche. So until next time, I'll be back in Toronto, back home in my new kitchen, which I will definitely show you now. It's all complete. It's all painted and ready to show off. I'm going to be cooking like a dream in there. Aha, I wish.